And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon, and welcome to what is promising to be a pretty interesting and hopefully entertaining Make HOAG Money today. My name is John Hoagland. I'm the Senior Performance Coach here at Top Step. 40 years of futures industry experience, traded on the floor of the Merc for 20 years and trading on screen since 2009. Been a pleasure to be here at Top Step since 2011, hopefully helping all of you with your performance in trading. This is the CFTC disclaimer. Everything we do here is for educational purposes only. We are not suggesting the purchase or sale of anything that we are doing here or any other product or security. Futures are leveraged products. We have the possibility of losing more than we even put into the account. Risk capital is money that you should be, only money you should be using to trade. And to me, that's money I can afford to lose. No performance, past or future, is indicative of anything that's going to happen in the future. We're going to jump into the rules here. Kindness and respect are expected above everything. There's a million different opinions in markets, and that's what makes them so good. You can have a couple of people unable to talk today if they choose to. We're all going to be involved in the decisions. Context of any trades you're talking about is going to be helpful. We're going to use the chat rooms on Zoom and YouTube to discuss trades. We're going to poll you in both to make those decisions. We're going to focus on the MES for opportunities for now. We're not going to trade just to trade. We're not going to be taking losing trades, which is, of course, a joke. We know that losses are part of trading. And we are always interested in your feedback when it comes to anything we do here. Here's the platform. If you were in the group coaching session just now, we were talking about Delta. We were talking about how the Delta can be indicative of longer time frame buyers. We were talking about the idea that at some point today, we may be seeing a move to the upside. We've seen a couple of range extensions already today. Here's the profile, one range extension and another range extension just now. We've got, well, we think we've got shorts on the run here. We've got negative delta of about 12,000. This is not presenting as correct right now. The delta keeps coming in negative. Sellers keep trying to sell this thing. And I think they're up against some longer time frame buyers. So we're going to see if we can't find a way into this, and we're going to see if we can't make some money on this whole situation that we've got going on here. If anybody would like to chat that's in the Zoom meeting, let me know. Either tell me in the chat, or you can raise your hand and I'll make you a panelist. But we're going to just kind of watch here and see if we can't find a way into this move. Delta still negative 12,000 overall. I'm going to F-bomb this, see if this brings it back up to about where it should be, which is about negative 12,000. Now it's presenting, well, now it's a little bit goofy. It's negative 12,000 is Delta. I'll keep an eye on that on another platform for us. So we've got what appears to be the short time frame stuck short. I'm going to just go ahead and take a long here and just going to see how this happens. And let's vote on it. Do we like a long up here? It's poor trade location. It's bad trade location. Do we like this? Do we like this trade? And I'm asking everybody on YouTube, and we're asking everybody on Zoom as well. Poor trade location. We're buying above value. We're buying at the high. Why would I do that? Crazy? Maybe. Maybe. The logic, Joe, is we have got negative delta. In other words, all of the trading that happened today, most of the trading that occurred were market orders hitting the bid. Well, price has been moving higher against those aggressive traders. Against those aggressive traders. Okay? So if that's the case, those aggressive traders, those shorts, those people using market orders to sell into bids aren't moving price lower. The opposite is occurring. Okay? So if they continue, the buyers continue to just place bids and keep increasing the negativity of delta, which is short time frame sellers using market orders to hit bids, the short time frame is going to get too short. I believe that's been kind of occurring on and off all day. We've had 2 range extensions to the upside. I just barreled into a long here just to see what was going to happen. Usually we don't do that. We don't take trades just to take trades. I don't even know where the risk is on this trade. But right now we're about 50-50 on the Zoom meeting. There it is. 50-50 on the YouTube side. The answer is, do we like this trade? No. Just don't like the spot for my particular style of trading. Real deal, I don't like this. I don't like the spot either. I really don't. I would rather actually pay higher if things pan out the way we think that they might. And I may get smushed on this. Real deal trader, a no for location. Everybody agrees this is a lousy trade location, isn't it? Lousy. Lousy trade location. Might look better later. I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens. We're 50-50 here on YouTube, or on Zoom meeting. Most 83% said we do not like this trade. Value high would have been a good spot too, Scott. 100%. Value high would have been better trade location than where we are. That's for damn sure. Edward would go short here. So Jason's got an idea here. We have a 3-day composite value area high at 40.53. Right at our high. Right at our high. That if we test, if we can't take this out, I will look to be short at 40.50, risking 40.80, 40.58, 40.23, 30-day volume, point of control, and then 40.01 settlement. Well, we've got 40.01 settlement is all the way down here. We've had all day to kind of unravel our overnight inventory, which was very long. We've been kind of unable to do that. Had a couple of pushes back, but with the negative delta, it seems as though there's somebody else in this market. Yeah, Jason, for 4,150 would be asking a lot, and I would just be smushed on this long, wouldn't I? Smushed is an industry term, by the way. Let me see if my good friend Vince is here. He is the one who coined getting smushed as an industry term. Real deal seller, real deal trader saying better to wait for a long. Short is too risky. There's no major seller. Interesting. I agree with you. I'm for reals. Too much risk. Crypto Scott buying the top. I know. I'm breaking all the rules. I'm torn between two lovers. Hello, Daniel. Joe, very difficult to trade. That's what you felt. Yeah, it's these days before these big numbers, man. It's so they tend to be difficult to trade. I mean, what kind of range do we have today? We have a 21.25 point range today. 21.25 point range so far. That's not much. That's one of the smaller ranges we've had by this time of day in a long time. A long time. Will, step away from the mouse and wait. Right? So you got negative 12,000 delta. This is not presenting correctly. Negative 12,400. So sellers are still trying to short this market. Sellers are still trying to short it. March 23rd spike. Value high. Short time frame control. Yikes. Think we could make that high here? 70, 40, 70? Could we? Would we? Should we? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to plant a seed there. 40, 70. We'll see what happens. That'd be a heck of a move. Hey, that's supposed to be 70. There we go. If this ends in a late spike, you give importance to it considering the big announcement tomorrow. GDP. Yes, I will give it importance, even with the GDP tomorrow, because if we are correct in our assumption that longer, stronger buyers have been present all day, when I open up my open interest bulletin tomorrow morning, and there was a decent accumulation of open interest in the S&Ps, that's going to be something that's going to tell me, hey, we did see longer, stronger buyers in the S&Ps. We did the right thing, well, depending on how the outcome of this trade goes. And what did they know? What did the longer time frame know, if they knew everything? Now remember, most of the longer time frame major participants in these markets, they're not outright long or outright short anything. they are hedging. They're using the S&Ps to hedge positions in baskets of stocks that they actually hold. So if they're creating a hedge long S&Ps, does it mean that they think prices are going to go higher? Maybe, maybe not. So what I'm going to have to do tomorrow, and this is a wonderful, great question, Joe, is I'm going to have to forget about all of that crap and trade what I see. Because I'm not smart enough to be able to decipher what any change in the GDP that comes out is, unlike it is supposed to. The expectation that I believe is, hang on. I believe it's supposed to remain the same, right? The GDP remains the same. Set 2.7%. Quarter four, quarter over quarter. 2.7 was the last. 2.7 is the expected for this one. If it comes out that way, I don't know what it means. What if it comes out 3%? Does that mean that the Fed is going to raise rates higher and faster? That's what I think the fear is of a good GDP number is right now. If it comes out lower, does that mean that the economy is slowing, which should maybe put a little pressure on some products and encourage the Fed to slow down on rates? Who knows what the right thing to do is, right? 3% we go into lockdown. Hey, look at this. We got things going our way now. Look at this. Love it when a plan comes together. Love it when a plan comes together. So, here it is. We still have about 9,600. Now this is presenting as correct. We still have about 9,600 negative delta, indicating that we're still short. We're still short. It's getting late. If we're still short, we're starting to sweat. We're starting to sweat. We're starting to think, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to buy the G.I. Joe at the Kung Fu Grip. They're starting to panic. Look at them. You can feel them. You can hear them. You can hear them. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What are we going to do? We can't go home with these losing positions on. Still 9,200 of them out there. 9,200 of them. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I'm for reals. Sometimes, even a blind squirrel finds an acorn once in a while. Even a blind squirrel finds an acorn once in a while. So if we think this is going to continue to move higher, what are we looking for if we want to add into this position? We're looking for low volume nodes. There you go, Vince. Nothing to stop the move till 70. Wait, isn't that where we put our offer? Don, I like the way you think. Don, I like the way you think. Keep thinking, Don. Everybody's got to get out and push now. Everybody get out and push. Everybody get out and push. Well, this is probably one of the most entertaining make HOAG monies we've seen in some time. Prior week high, 40.74. What should be our target? Prior week high, 40.74. If you know me, I'm always just a little short of where I think the market's going to go. So we've got our offer at 70. And if we get there, we'll be happy. And if it doesn't, we'll still be happy. Fanami says, take the money and call it a day. Late spike bail would be nice if you're long, right? Real deal? You gotta tell my buddies what's going on here. Still negative 9,200. They're still trying to short this move. Retail traders, man. Retail traders. Always picking tops, trying to pick bottoms. There's a naked POC up there also. Let's see. Oh, way up. You can probably see it here. There's that high. This is from before it was the front month. I don't think we're going to get to 41.1750 today. That would be something. Getting a good pullback here. Yeah, still Vince. Vince says there's still a lot of shorts in the market. You're funny. Negative 11,000 delta now. They're still trying to short this. And I tell you where the rubber is going to meet the road is in an M period. Last half hour of the day. So I just gotta. No, I don't want to do that. Just still hoping all the shorts get smushed and not me. Will sell it at 40.59.75 and go short. You want me to join the top pickers? Chad, the delta indicator is you have to go to indicators and explore community indicators. What you're looking for is the Tiki cumulative delta line. Cumulative delta line, which is right here. And then there's a way you have to set it so you get regular trading hour delta correctly. Now, it's not always going to be correct. Tapor, negative delta. What delta is it's in futures, it's actually quite simple. Trades that lift the offer by market orders are positive delta by contract. One contract, market order, lifting the offer is +1 in delta. So you take all the contracts that trade on the bid that are positive delta and you subtract everything that is traded on the, you take everything that's traded on the offer, which is positive delta, because it takes aggression, it takes a market order to buy it, it's positive delta, minus every contract that trades on the bid, which takes a market order sell to do so, as negative delta. So what we're seeing in the delta number here, negative 11,700, today we've had 11,700 more contracts trade on the bid using market orders to sell than on the offer. So what we're seeing is most of the time your short time frame traders are using market orders to get in and out of the market. When we see a divergence like this where price opens and trades higher against negative delta, it can indicate the presence of a longer time frame trader or traders placing bids, scooping up whatever the short time frame traders will sell them, and then they move those bids up. So what ends up happening is the delta gives us the ability to occasionally see when the time frames pitting against time frames are going to work to our advantage. If I'm a short time frame trader and I see negative delta against price moving in the opposite direction, the last thing I want to do is short, because all my competitors, all my like-minded traders are doing what the longer time frame traders want them to do. They're hitting their bids. Once they won't hit those bids anymore, they move those bids up. They end up getting the short time framed pea shooters like me too short at the end of the day. And that's when we end up with these late spikes at the end of the day. We end up too short in the body of the profile because there's longer time frame buyers there. And then we have to bail by the end of the day because we want to go home short, or because we want to go home flat, I should say. Not short, flat. Okay? So you can look at cumulative delta. I'm for reals. Tipor, what I do is I look at the cumulative delta line, and then I will start it a half an hour. You got to go session. Start it a half an hour before the S&Ps open in your time zone. Okay? and I can show the value of 0, and I can show the value of delta. I save that. Now I've got the session only delta from 8:30 on is what we're seeing here. We're seeing negative delta from 8:30 on against price moving in the opposite direction. Because that's what you want. You want regular trading hour session delta. You want to trigger trades on the 15-minute, but what higher time frame should I look at? Well, David, you should be looking at every time frame. You should be Sunday. I start looking at the monthly chart. I go to the weekly chart. I go to the daily chart. I go to the 4-hour chart. I go to the 30-minute chart. I look at the profiles to see what the profiles may be telling me. So it's important to understand what the longer time frame traders are looking at and what they may be thinking as a day trader. Very similar to what we're doing here. We've got negative delta. I don't know for sure that there are longer time frame buyers in this market. I can't see them. I used to be able to see them in the trading pit. I used to be able to watch them buying from locals, from my competitors in the pit, and I used to be able to sense when the pit was way too short or way too long, and I could take the opposite position and ride price when they get out. I don't have the opportunity to do that anymore. So delta is one way that I've discovered that from time to time will give me the hint that longer time frame traders are in the market getting the short time frame stuck one way or the other. When the short time frame unstucks, that's when we act. That's when we make our money, right? When the price is overextended or one time frame is overextended, that's information we can use. Caesar, early MOC imbalance 945 million to the buy side. So is there an argument to be made about going back to value? If we were to run out of delta on the upside because of capitulation of all those shorts, then all those shorts would be available to enter back into the marketplace. What we're doing here is we still have a lot of shorts in this market, but the fewer shorts we have, the more buying power we're taking away from the market. There's still a lot of shorts in here, as Vince pointed out with his little red shorts. Diego, nice job. Past step 2. Good job. Personally, pro versus funded, I don't think it makes a difference. If you want your account fast, go with the pro. It's the same thing. Once you've made some money in there, we're going to put you in the funded account anyway. So on the Tiki, you start, okay, Chad, what I want you to do is to look at your computer and hit F5. And it's going to reboot your computer. Let me know if that straightens out the number. That's going to reboot the platform. Blind roosters and chickens, yes, can get corn 100%. I'm for real. Yeah, the combine is tough. Trading is tough. There's nothing easy about this. There's absolutely nothing easy about trading. Belgium. Philippe, welcome. Some say that my German Shepherd's a Belgian Malinois. It's kind of strange living in a home with something that can eat you. Nice, Will. Yeah, see, now we're really getting aggressive selling. Real deal. What I don't understand about delay high, if we have a negotiable delta and positive price, wouldn't delta be more close to even? I use delta all the time, but I don't understand that part. I'm not sure I understand the question correctly, real deal, but delta is never negotiable. Delta is what it is. It's market order buys by contract minus market order sells by contract. There are different ways that the longer time frame hides their information. Delta high. Okay. So if I'm a longer time frame participant and I'm a buyer and I have, let's say, 10,000 minis to buy, I can't just put in 10,000 because everybody will run away from it, right? So what I have to do is I use a program that's going to replenish bids once they're exhausted. So let's say I'm buying here at 40, 53, 50. I've got 1,000 that I want to buy there, but I only want to put in random small numbers. I'm going to put in 15, 42, 6, 14, 62. And as soon as the bid is almost exhausted, I'm going to put in another small random number. So these are called iceberg orders. You're only going to see the very tip of it, but there's a lot more behind it. That is what creates the delta, the negative or the delta divergence to the upside or a delta divergence to the short side of the longer time frame or sellers. Not to muddy the waters, if the longer time frame are buyers, they're going to replenish the bids with random numbers and they're going to soak up everything they can at that level. It's going to take short time frame market order sellers to hit those bids. Negative delta. Negative delta, negative delta, negative delta. It piles up, it piles up, it piles up. But the bid never really goes away. You never see how many are bid there, but it just stays bid. Then pretty soon the shorter time frame are going to figure it out and they're going to not sell that level anymore. So if the longer time frame senses that, they're going to move those bids up. And they're going to replenish those bids and replenish those bids and replenish those bids and replenish those bids and replenish those bids until pretty soon you start to notice the delta divergence. The delta divergence is something that maybe not a lot of people know about, but it's something that I've been really focusing on since stepping out of the pit because I can't tell when my direct competitors are stuck short or long as easily as it was in the trading pit. Okay? So, the other order that longer time frame traders use is much more diabolical and much more difficult to figure out. Instead of just replenishing the bid, 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 creating the delta divergence, they'll work 40 on the bid. As soon as that's filled, they'll buy 40 on the offer. They'll work 40 on the bid. As soon as that's filled, they'll use a market order to buy 40 on the offer. Well, what that does is it evens out delta. So you can have an accumulation occur all day long in long time frame with no change in delta. It's diabolical. It's very difficult to see because they remove our eyes. They remove our eyeballs. So we are not going to be able to see. Where is the, yeah, it's in community indicators right here. Explore community indicators. Look for Tiki cumulative delta line. Tiki cumulative delta line. You bet, Edward. All right, so we're not going to lose anything on this. We're getting pretty late in the day here. We still got positive, negative, almost 13,000 delta. How does this thing not rally? So I'm seeing 12,000 on the Tiki. What you want to do is, here's what it looks like. So session, start hour a half an hour before the regular trading hour starts. ESM, 223, 30 minute. Show value, and save. If it doesn't line up with this, sometimes there's display errors. The one thing about computer trading is nothing is perfect. But if it's not lining up with that, if you just click on the white bar at the top here and hit F5, it's going to reboot the platform for you, and hopefully it'll even it up. We're negative 13,000 delta right now, which isn't exactly correct. We're at 12,000 right now. I've got another platform that I can see delta on. So this is telling us that our short time frame traders are still trying to sell this thing. Still trying to sell it. Chad, I hope you got that right. So if it is negative because big buyers are using limits and sellers are marketing in, because both sides are executing lots of orders, so you would think delta would be more even. It's not the number of orders, it's the number of contracts. Real deal. So if I buy 10 contracts on the offer, I add positive 10 to delta. If I sell one on the bid, that's negative 1 in delta. So it's not the fact that there was a transaction, that's volume. Delta is what side the market traded on. Oh, here we go. I keep 3 domes open. When one freezes, I go to the next one. Yeah, we just had delta come off about 4,000. So the shorts are starting to capitulate. Now they'll start jumping over each other to try and get out here before the open. Before the close. Maybe. Who knows? $9,200 negative delta. Gonna put in a new high here. Let them all get short. Get them all get short here. Let them all get short here. We know where their stops are. $340 at 60. Jeez. Well, that's liquidity. Market's probably going to go there. What do you think? Do we fish or cut bait? There you go. There's the pull. Fish or cut bait? Oh, I probably should have just said fish. Why am I not getting... Don't see the poll. Ah, here we go. There's the poll. Look at that. We put in a weak high on both ends of the market today so far. Fish. I don't know if this, I don't think I did the poll right in YouTube. I said fish or cut bait. Yes. I think fish won. Steve says time to sell. Got the poll now, Edward. All right, here we go. There's the result. 67% yes on Zoom. 69% yes. I think that means fish on YouTube. We'll see what happens. Let's see what happens. We're going right through this 60 level like butter. Now that I said that, the market's going to make a liar out of me. Ah, there it goes. See? Like butter. Alrighty. What's today? Wednesday? Delta is -8, -7. -8. They're still selling it. Try 7 o'clock on the East Coast, Chad. No, I'm sorry. 9 o'clock on the East Coast. You guys are ahead of us. 9 o'clock on the East Coast. Let's see if we get one more push. No, we're not short on a put. We're long S&P. It's dying here. Negative 9,000 delta still. They're still trying to sell it. All right, we're out. 10 points, and we're good. When the delta drops, shorts are hitting the bid to get out. Lifting the bid, yes. When delta increases in value, when it's negative and it starts going back towards zero, that's when traders are starting to get out. Yeah, we're done. Watch and see what happens for the rest of the day. I think there's more to this move, but I've got to move on. We made 10 points. Thank you very much to all of you for joining me today, and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got the market prep and straight into Make HOAG Money. So we'll see you in the morning. See if we can't find another goodie like we had today. Nice seeing everyone. Trade well.